Yo, what is up, guys? Team and Andy here, back for another episode of Star Wars Legions. Today we're going to be doing the counterpart of the AAT, and it's the TX Series 130 Saber Tank Fighter Tank. TX 130 Saber Class Fighter Tank. Jesus, that's a mouthful. Anyways, we're going to be taking a quick old look-see and seeing how good this unit is. And we're going to be classifying it off the 5 stages as I did the other one. Sorry if the other one was a little bit spotty. It's all new to ranking and everything. You know, we got to start somewhere, you know, fam? Anywho, basically going to throw on the most beefiest cards that would be the greatest for this setup. And honestly, all around trip pony kind of thing. I mean, there's only so many different creative things you can do with the tank, and the most creative thing is obviously killing as much as you can with it, because that's the purpose of a tank, and have the least amount of casualties on your side. So we're going to be starting off, of course, with the armaments. The armaments are a little bit more cute with this one. It's honestly, I like this one a teeny bit more, mainly for the specifics of how this tank specifically works. Let me give you an example. Showing you the stats on the top, we were getting the same exact, almost, being armor, complete armor. They don't really specify with the armor kind of thing. Anyways, Arsenal 2, so basically you get to fire 2 different things, which, we'll go over that in a moment. Anyways, you'll have Hover Ground 2, Reverse Strafe, Standby. It's treated as a ground vehicle by other units. So, basically, you get to not really worry about much sort of terrain. Like, it's floating above ground just a teeny bit, not a whole lot, you know. Anyways, you got Outmaneuver. This is what makes this unit just a teeny bit better right now. You can spend dodge tokens to cancel critical results. So basically you have one thing on this that this one doesn't. Speed. Also a little bit more movement. Like the other one, it's kind of like the AAT, it's there. Like, you can move it back and forth and everything, but this has a little bit more on its card and is a little more self-explanatory. Weak point is only the rear and sides. Oh boy, we have a little bit more weakness. The front basically deflects the hits as such, but I guess if you do go to the side, there are weak spots in the armor, little chinks, little chinky chanks. While defending, if the attacker unit has a leader inside of the rear or either side of the arc, the attack pool gains impact 1. Damn, that's messed up. But that's worth noting. This is a forward assault vehicle as well, just like the AAT. But this thing can definitely maneuver just a teeny bit more than the other AAT, I believe. Stats for the health are the same. So going for the abilities right quick, I'm going to definitely give it a 4 out of 10. Or 4 out of 5, excuse me. And the health stats, it's going to be the same. It's going to be a 4 out of 5 as well. Speed, AAT, I think it was a 4 or 2 speed as well. So we're not really it's gonna just go up here with that. So it's, yeah, more or less 4 out of 5. The price on how much it costs, I'd definitely say it's a 3 out of 5. Mainly because you have to probably put on almost everything to make this vehicle worthwhile. Because, like, the gun itself is good, but if you do have the points compared to the AAT by itself is beautiful in its own retrospect. With this, you kind of need a couple things going along with it. Like, you can have it like that, but it's not really going to do much good for you. It's more or less Obi-Wan with a 4-length lightsaber, pretty much. Yeah. You know, it's unique. A lot of people aren't going to really know how to deal with this thing when they first see it, so that is to your advantage. Moving down to the weaponry, we have Critical 1, Impact 2, and Fixed Front. It's a meh. You know, like I said, it's Obi-Wan just chucking his lightsaber at range 4. It's actually a review that I've heard a lot about lately. There we go. We can focus. Get a nice little overview. Also, real quick, I will say this. In terms of playability, I will definitely give it a 5 out of 5 because you can have the other gun just sitting in there. I mean, you can't really see it. I gotta shine the light in there. I don't know. The other gunner is in there, but either way, you can basically change it out anytime you want and have a little bit of pose and playability. something to think about. Going to the equipment, we're going to be starting off with their gunners, as speaking of. So, you have the choice of two. Unfortunately, I wish we could have a lot more creative stuff. Like, literally, we could just have a guy chilling with a rocket launcher, or two rocket launchers, you know? Or Rex, or, something. But no, we got two, and we're just going to keep two. We'll do more, what you can call it. We're going to do some creative cards building once Discord starts up, actually. So keep that in mind. I am starting up a Discord. Link description is below. Also, make sure if you guys are enjoying these videos, make sure you like and subscribe. We'll be doing better content later on, but right now this is what I got. And it's honestly not too bad. It's a really fun game if anyone gets really into it. Anyways, going back to this, we have twin laser turret or beam cannon. Honestly, I'd go for the beam cannon, even if it is twice as expensive, with 1 more point, 2 more points added to it. But either way, you have a range 1 to 4, so it kind of gives the versatility that this tank really desperately needs. It's the balancing mechanism, I believe, that this really needs, because this will turn from a one-trip pony to, I will shoot you across the map with a laser beam and shoot many of your friends with it. So we have that, because beam 2. And 2 red dice, I never complain. The other one, it's average. I'm glad it's 14 points. The twin laser turret, I mean, it's great for self-defense. If anything tries to get close to it, you do have a mild something to fight back with. But the only problem with that is it would have to be like, you're still going to need to prop this thing up with a couple troopers. The laser turn, it's just not a nice little bonus, but if you really want to throw something down, I'd say the beam cannon is your honest bet. In terms of being cheap, I wouldn't throw any of these on, honestly. In terms of rating these cards, the beam cannon, it's a mild 3 out of 5. I say 3 out of 5 because it's way too damn expensive for what it has to the table. I feel like having it be 28 would be a little bit more fair, or add an extra ability and a couple more points to make it worthwhile. But just for it to be beam 2 and 2 red dice and range 4 for it to be 30, I don't know. What y'all say in the comments? What do you think? I think it should be a couple more points less for the dice and everything. But either way, if we're going to be decking it out, we're going to be going all out, and we're going to have a giant lightsaber that reaches to Kingdom Come and split the, split anything. Yeah, it's banana split. No, banana. Starting on next to the comms, we're going to give the same options as we did for the AAT, because for this scenario, I really honestly say you need to have some kind of backbone for these units. Like, you can't have them just sit there and chill and you just pick up the order tokens whenever you want. But honestly, if you really want to grab the initiative, HQ uplink would definitely be your best bet. But for this guy, I would honestly say link targeting array, mainly because of the lack of armaments that it has along with it. Like the AAT, it has so many different things you can fire off. You really don't even need the link targeting array, because you have so many dice you're rolling. With this, you have a select amount of few dice, and those few dice you need to have them hit. Otherwise, you're just wasting points with this unit. So in that regards, I would say link targeting array. But if you're going for a more support role, but like a support distraction role, and increase your movements, and if you have money to spend, I would go for the HQ uplink. But just for this, we're going to do link targeting array, just to make it a little bit of a difference. And then going on to our pilots, we got Plo Koon, Clone Veteran, and Ayla Secura. All of these are very unique in their own ways. Plo gives you an additional agile, or excuse me, it basically gives you 2 additional dodges, which is great, but it's exhaustible, so you're going to have to spend a move regaining that back. But you get 2 free dodge tokens pretty much using outmaneuver. It kind of works if you're trying to take evasive action from something. If you want to survive a little bit longer, I'd say Plo Koon. But for something like this kind of setup, I honestly wouldn't. Mainly because you're going to be dealing with an army. This thing isn't going to be rolling by itself. It ain't the lone cat in the alley kind of deal. The veteran clone pilot, it's not too bad. While you or a friendly clone trooper at range 1 is in line of sight or attacks defends, basically you get to trade each other's dodges. You basically are reliable, or not reliable, but the thing, you know what I'm talking about. Basically, they can spend your tokens. It's not terrible, but it's exhaustible, so I honestly wouldn't even put any energy towards it. And then the best one, in my opinion, Ayla Secura, because get that out of the way. Ayla Secura, because it's Ayla Secura, and she's 5 points, which I don't know why. Maybe she's a Twi'lek. No, 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 no. That's not the case. No, Twi'leks are people too. They are expensive pieces of Jedi property. Anywho, we're gonna get Inspire too. So basically, you can take 2 suppression from any friendly units. That's great for morality. This makes the tank a little bit more tanky. So yeah, and on top of that, we have it being a field commander, so you can basically spend field commander cards, which is a lot better than any other one. So obviously, Ayla Secura. Here we go. Okay. So what else do we got? Oh yeah. And then ordnance. What are we gonna do for ordnance, ladies and gents? Well, you see, we have to have ordnance on this thing, otherwise it's going to be a tanky piece of trash. Throwing ordnance on makes it a little bit better. I mean, you could either have the gunner or ordnance, but you gotta have your tank decked out if you want it to be effective. It's got arsenal too. You need stuff. You need different stuff to be playing around with. Armor piercing, 100%. I'd honestly go for armor piercing 100% every single time for the tank. Even though it's showing the AAT shooting this thing, I'd still say this thing would be a lot better with the armor piercers for one of several reasons. Excuse me. Bunker Buster, it's expensive. This thing is already expensive as hell. Bunker Buster, you have to be up close and personal. This thing doesn't want to be up close and personal. It really wants to be in the back. More so than this. This, it could take a little bit of damage if it goes out in front of everybody and says, "Hi, how you doing?" and gets shot up a little bit. But this one, nah, it likes to sit and just chill in the back and watch Netflix. High energy shells, they wouldn't be terrible. But my only concern with a high energy shells is you're going to use them at the wrong place at the wrong time, mainly because of how the physics work and everything. I don't know. If you, well, I mean, if you're like a player like, no, 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 no. I'm not saying I'm a bad player or anything, but I'm just saying if you want to use high energy shells, you're going to use it in the worst time possible, mainly because of the high velocity. You're going to be like, oh, I want to shoot somebody right here, right now. And it's just not going to be the right time and place.